Hello and welcome to Steve Walker Guitars. I'm Steve Walker. Thank you for joining me again. This is part 2 of the Great Guitar Build Off 2020 unofficial entry competition, and I've already done some work on the body itself, which I've filmed, which you'll see in a minute. There's some talk beforehand about my choosing wood for the body and for the neck. The neck has been, I have since filming decided to change the neck blank that I'm using. I will discuss that more in the video that I'll be making about the neck when I come to that, and I'll explain the reasons why I've changed my mind for that when it comes to it. But in this video, you'll see, when we talk about the template, what I'm using. There's also, like I say, about the wood for the body, and there's also been rough cutting the body out, which it took a little bit longer to do than I planned, so the video will be sped up quite a lot. And as this is my business, this is what I do. The blade's a little bit worn. Probably should have got a new one for this, but it's what I had to hand. I'd already started when I realised I should have changed. Anyway, yeah, I'm currently at the point where I'm going to be masking tape and super glue the template to the body to get it trimmed up properly. Sorry, Texas Toast, it's not double-sided tape. It's what works best for me. The tape I've used in the past hasn't been, the double-sided tape hasn't been brilliant, so I've kind of steered more towards the masking tape and super glue trick, which I find works great. If you want to recommend the one that you use, have you got a link, that's fine, you can put that in the comments. I'm always happy to try something new. If it works better, that's brilliant. Every day is a school day. I think everyone should be prepared to learn something new, no matter how long you've been building, or no matter what it is you're doing. So like I say, if you want to leave that, that's fine. A link, that's fine, or a recommendation even, that's fine by me. Yeah, so when I've finished waffling now, you'll hear a little bit more waffle about the body, the template, and the neck blank that I'm not going to be using, and then into the body cut, rough cut. So in the next video, you will see me fixing the template to the body and routing that, and possibly starting on the neck, but we'll see how it goes. I don't want to take up too much of your precious time. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Good luck to the rest of the builders. I've been watching some of the other videos, some of the other builders, and I'm quite impressed, to be fair. It's going to be a good competition. So like I say, all the best to all of you, and I'll speak to you soon. See you in the next video. Thanks very much. Okay, so I've been deciding on wood to use for the body and for the neck. I've decided I'm going to go with ash. I like ash. I love the grain. I love how when it's stained, how it looks. I'm going with a stain rather than a solid paint. I want to show as much of the grain as possible, so I'm not going to bury that. I'm not going to use a grain sealer or anything. I want it all to be shown. There are a couple of knots on the back of this, but I've worked out the positioning of them, and I've marked them out on the front and I think where the body's going to be cut, there's going to be a comfort cut this side on the back, so the knot hopefully will be gone, and on this, in this area, is going to be the control cavity, so that will be removed with that. So I'm not worried about the knots. I've got the center line already, it's not a bad join. Okay, so that's the body. The neck I'm going to be going with is maple. I'm going with the maple mainly because again, if I decide to stain it, it will take the colour really well. In going with a bird's eye maple fretboard, not 100% yet. I haven't got that piece yet, but it's something I'm seriously considering doing. This is the template. As you can see, it was, or it is based around the telly shape. I like the telly because it's a very basic body. This, however, is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to have some comfort cuts on the top as well as on the back, which, as you may know, the telly doesn't, is very much a slab, which is fine, but this is going to be my take on the telly. This was originally a telly template that I had, but due to accidents with routers and that, there were certain there was notches that was in it, which was done in the early days of my building, and it was a little bit of an annoying experience to learn from, but I have always let your router stop spinning before you take it away from what you're cutting. So yeah, this is the shape I'm going to be going with. I'm also going to be going with a fan fret or multi-scale fretboard, so it's not going to have the traditional telly bridge or layout. I'm going to be having individual saddles to accommodate the multi-scale. I'm also got more of a rounded cut here. These two holes were originally from the original template, so I'm not going to be using those. I will be putting different holes in for the neck screws. And as far as the controls go, I'm going to be doing something a little bit experimental with the pickups. So although it will probably only have the one volume control, there's the selector switch to accommodate for in the rear cavity, but there will also be some smaller toggle switches for coil taps, that kind of thing. Again, I'll go into the electronics more when it comes to it, but that's basically where I'm going with this. It's going to have a reversed headstock, which will accommodate for the longer scale on the base side of the neck, so I'll still be able to you'll still have the 6 in a row. It'll just be machine heads, it'll just be a reversed headstock. Okay, so I've got the template in place. I'm going to do an outline, just make sure the knots on the back are in the right places, that hopefully I'll be able to make disappear with the comfort cuts and the cavity. So I'm going to do that now. think that should be okay. The comfort cut on this will have to come quite low, but I think that the style of guitar it's going to be, or the style of player that's going to use it, I think that a lower cut will probably be better anyway, as it's more likely to sit higher. So rather than the standard or regular kind of comfort cut, I think it may be a little bit further back and come a little bit lower. But again, that's going to be something that I do a little bit later, and it will be done according to the body once it's cut. But I quite like how that looks. I'm going to do a little bit more work on the template as well. There may be a few adjustments to this, so I'm not going to cut anything just yet, although any adjustments to the template are going to be taken away from that, so that's not going to really affect if I rough cut this. So I'm going to get my cavity template and draw that on, just to make sure everything lines up. I normally draw one on the front as well, so I know where I'm going to be, what room I have for putting in controls. Last thing you want is to drill a hole through and find you're just in the body rather than the cavity, so that's going to be something I'm going to do. I think as well, with it being a little bit smaller, something I was thinking, it's quite a heavy piece of ash, but I think once it's cut down, the cuts are in place, it is going to lighten it up quite a lot. So hopefully it won't be top heavy. I don't think it will. It's still quite a thick piece, 45mm, so should be good to go.